Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to the World of Warcraft. We're currently at the very beginning of our story still. I'm a level 5 Blood Elf Mage. This is the first time I'm properly going to be playing Horde, and today we're going to be continuing our journey. So we've made our way towards the ruins of Silvermoon, or at the very least what I think are going to be the ruins of Silvermoon. And today we're just simply going to be progressing a little bit onwards. Now, I hope you got your drink ready to go. I'm gonna be sipping off of a little bit of coffee as I haven't actually had any yet today. However, we're just simply gonna continue onwards and see where the quest of aiding the Outrunners is going to be taking me. Now, just real quick, by the way, in case you are not aware, I'm only really going to be recording those videos back to back for the first couple, and maybe at the end of this one, I'm already gonna start playing some time in between. And the reason for that is that I don't want to be, you know, going on like a 300-part series in order to finally get to the max level, right? So I'm gonna be playing in between these episodes as well, but since we're still at the beginning of the storyline, and since I am just about to explore a city I've never really been in, I figured this was the perfect moment to continue onwards. But just so you're aware, in the future I'm probably gonna be playing for several hours in between these episodes as well. Either way though, we made our way towards Outrunner Alarion after we managed to, you know, deal with that academy situation back there. Either way though, let's see what she has to say.
State your business.
Well, hello there, mage. I heard that a resourceful young blood elf formerly in the service of Magistrix Arona might be making their way down here to help us Outrunners out. We certainly welcome the help, especially from someone who's proven to be so competent. I hope you're interested in running an errand for the two of us. Alrighty then, I can do that. It's hard work being an Outrunner between Sunstrider Isle and Falconwing Square. Tight deadlines, long hours, and the worst of all, the wretched. So the wretched, we learned, are basically the blood elves that have been giving in to their, you know, their desire and urge for the magic. The road south goes through the ruins of Silvermoon. The place is crawling with wretched, ready to kill you for a few mana crystals. Unfortunately, I think that's what happened to the last Outrunner we sent with one of Irona's packages. I see you're eager to prove yourself. Venture into the dawning lane and see if you can find any tracers of our Outrunner. Alrighty, I can do so. I can do so. So let's immediately just run onwards here. Now, on the minimap, you may have noticed, apparently we've got some unread mail. I'm not entirely sure what that's going to be all about, but we'll have a quick look at that once we do get across a mailbox. But look at that. I think those are indeed going to be, you know, the first glimpses of Silvermoon that we're going to be getting. I love this place. Anyways, ooh. Looks like we have managed to actually see the Outrunner. She didn't even get that far, dude. You're literally right around the corner. She just... whatever. The Outrunner's belongings have all been stolen with the exception of one package. It seems to match Alarion's description of Irona's package. Okay. You take the package and confirm that indeed it comes from Magistrix Irona. Alarion would probably want you to bring it to her. Alrighty. So do we just... immediately get back around? Alrighty, we can do that. What did you find, Lowko? Well, I found a package. By the Sunwell. That's the third Outrunner we've lost this month. I appreciate your courage in venturing into Dawning Street. The guards need to keep a closer eye out on these blasted wretched. Okay. The death of another Outrunner is a true tragedy, but it's a risk we all accept when we take the job. Magistrix Irona at the Sunspire needs to get this package to the inn at the Falconwood or the Falconwing Square, and she needs it there as soon as possible. We're short-handed and I don't have anyone else available who can cover us. I'm not going to lie to you, the path to the Falconwing Square can be extremely dangerous if you leave the safety of Dawning Lane. Do you feel like you're up to the task? Well, I don't really have much of a choice now, do I? I'm sure it won't be as terrible though. She's pretending like it's going to be the worst journey of our life, but I'm sure we can deliver a little parcel all the way over towards the square. I think that's gonna be right off there in the distance, actually. Well, there's one of those guards. You haven't really been doing your job very well now, have you, sir? Alrighty, well, I'll leave this up to you, but look at this place, man. Not gonna lie. As like an Alliance player for years, I have never really seen such colorful places, besides maybe like the woods and whatnot of Darnassus and, you know, the Night Elf area, which technically speaking are relatively closely related to the Blood Elves as well, but that place is a lot more green. I love the fact that this place is as orange, but, you know, also has like a more, I don't know, a more like, how do you explain that? A more like living feel to it, if that makes any sense? I was promised death and decay before arriving at this square, but it looks like we managed to get here anyway. We did make it to the Falcon Wing Square. So before actually accepting any other quest, because it seems like there's a couple more that I can be accepting over here, I'm gonna be heading into whatever this is. Oh, this is going to be an inn. Nice.
Do not loiter.
Alrighty, so we're first off gonna be completing the delivery. Welcome to my inn, mage. Am I to understand that you have something for me? I definitely do, yeah. Thank you, I appreciate the prompt delivery. While you're here, please make yourself comfortable. If you haven't done so already, feel free to get a Heartstone and bind yourself here. Using a Heartstone will allow you to recall to an inn once every half hour. If you ever lose your Heartstone, simply return to any inn and the innkeeper will gladly give you a new one. Alrighty. So we're gonna go ahead and actually we gotta choose what reward we want. I really don't need either of those. But we are indeed going to be doing that. We're gonna be making this in our home, which basically allows me to, like she said, use a Heartstone. So I got a Heartstone right here in my bag that I will be able to use whenever we need to. Now, one of the main things that does help out a lot in the early stages of the game is really having some more bag space. And I don't think I've ever gone ahead and actually purchased a 6-slot bag before. I don't quite have enough here to purchase the 8-slot one, so I'll go ahead and just purchase one of those. And for the moment, we're gonna be having a little bit more storage space, which will hopefully, will hopefully allow me to eventually get a little bit more progress. So my home inn is gonna be in there. I've sold all of the junk that I've had in my bags for the moment, and with that, I'm gonna be accepting the quests that are over here as well. So first and foremost, we're gonna be talking to AddOns Sunbrand, the captain of the Bloodholds. A group of wretches recently raided the supply of unstable mana crystals from one of the arcane sanctums. If not handled properly, the crystals could explode with enough force to blow a hole into the city walls. Now, Lowko, I don't quite care if they blow themselves up while tapping unstable arcane sources, but the whole incident would make my men look bad. Bring me back any remaining stolen crystals you find. They might still be inside their original crates. Alrighty, so we gotta go ahead and collect a couple of crates. The city of Silvermoon hereby issues a reward for the head of Thalas the Hungerer, notorious wretched ringleader. He is wanted for repeated crimes against the general population of the Silvermoon city, including the murder of 2 city guards. Report to Sergeant Conran to collect the reward. Alright, I can do so. So apparently that is something we can use. Now, there's actually a bunch of trainers over here. That's quite interesting. We got a hunter trainer as well. Actually, we got some armor and shield merchants as well as some weapon merchants over here. Now, obviously, I'm running with some heirloom gear, but I've been contemplating if I should go ahead and transmog the gear that I have right now to represent the gear of the zone that I'm in. So if you're, familiar with the game, do you think that's a good idea if I just buy some gray items and make my gear, my beautiful heirloom gear right here to represent the zone that I'm in? Let me know down below if you're interested in that. Anyways, Magister Jaronis. The arcane patrollers crafted by our forefathers to protect the city have fallen into a dangerous state of disrepair. They fail to recognize us as their masters and will attack us on sight. Even though they were created many years ago, the arcane cores that power them are still quite useful and valuable to us. I want you to gather these cores and bring them to me so I can put them to good use again. You will find the patrollers in the ruined section of Silvermoon, to the northwest. Okay. Okay. So, we've got a bunch of quests right now to go ahead and complete. And as you can see on the map here, they're all going to be completed right outside of the ruins of Silvermoon. So I think we're just simply going to be heading out there and see what we can find and what needs to be destroyed here to properly use this. So these are going to be level 5 minions that we're going up against. As you can see, they are going to be slightly more powerful than the ones that we have faced previously. But because, I have pretty powerful spells, it shouldn't be all too difficult after all. So let me just spend a little bit of time here looting and murdering and basically killing everything. Although apparently, we got a challenger here. We got a challenger? Really? You want to duel me? This is not a player. This is another player. Alright, alright. Well, I mean, I'm not really too worried about this situation, to be completely honest with you. And while he's gonna be capable of doing a little bit, we did just manage to win my very first duel of all time. Now, to be fair, I'm running with heirloom gear. He isn't. But this is the cool thing about World of Warcraft. You can basically see all the other players that are in here. As you can see, his gear is not going to be quite up to par compared to mine. He says nice duel. Thanks, dude. Now, I've seen a lot of people comment about my UI setup and the, you know, the add-ons and whatnot that I'm using to change the look of things, because a lot of you seem to really like it. Now, the thing is, I used to use a ton more add-ons that I'm currently using, and I will be setting up definitely more over time as well. So I do plan on making a video explaining the exact setup of my UI and maybe even making it like available for you guys to download. If you're interested in that, obviously, I will do so. But for the moment, I will still be adding on more and more of those over time here. So there's definitely going to be a little bit of downtime before we're going to be capable of doing so. And I plan on being like at least like a level 100 so I can get a proper like UI going, right? Because right now I'm missing a lot of add-ons, such as, for example, ones that allow you to measure the amount of threat that you have when attacking bosses and to measure the damage that you're actually exactly dishing out and all these kind of things. For the moment though, if you are interested in all of the add-ons that I'm using, I will obviously post them down below in the description of the video. So in case you're interested, you can definitely go ahead and check that out too. Apparently there's a bunch of fighting going on here by other players. I'm really looking for someone's head here. Who do I murder? I think he's gonna be up there. Yeah, that would make sense. We're gonna be climbing the stairs here and see if we can find Thalis, who apparently needs to be killed because he's been going rampant in this area. Seriously though, this you know, this Blood Elf story is actually pretty sad. Like, it's actually pretty dark, everything considered. Basically, we're just a bunch of survivors right now who are trying to, you know, get back to our former glory, but it's all been a pretty sad story. I mean, to imagine that all of these minions that we're killing here were once Blood Elves, who basically just have given in to the urge for magic. It's kind of sad, really. Oh, hey, I climbed all the way up here. Turns out he's actually just down there. I completely missed it. Alright, there we go. Did manage to take him out as well. I guess we'll bring his head. Put him in our backpack of our newly acquired bag. Lovely. Alrighty, so I've completed all of the objectives for the quest that we have gathered thus far. Really don't want to kill you, Ratchet. I'm sorry, but I really don't want to kill you right now. But I've managed to complete the tasks at hand here. Oh man, everyone just... You guys just all stay in place, okay? You guys just all stay right there. But I've managed to complete all of the objectives. And as always, it's a good feeling when you're playing WoW. Because all of the question marks on the minimap will obviously all grant you experience. Which means that, you know, you'll be progressing a lot further. But more often than not, you'll also be leveling up. So at the moment, I got a little XP bar right here at the bottom. If I fill this one all the way up with the purple stuff, I will level up. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. I got something to show for you, yes. I got the head of Thalis. That scoundrel Thalis finally met his fate. Good job, Lowko. Things should be quiet with the wretched for a while. Hey, no worries. No worries, Sergeant. We found that, by the way, on that notice board. Eldon, did you retrieve the stolen goods? Yes, I most definitely did. Excellent work, Lowko. Besides the constant threat that the wretches represent, I also have to deal with all kinds of fictitious reports of night elf sightings. Though most reports are unfounded, one recent incident demands further investigation. The West Sanctum, one of our primary energy sources, has suffered a terrible malfunction and rumors of Danasian sabotage are rampant. Oh no, those dang night elves. My main character for years have been a night elf. Travel there and deal with anyone that looks suspicious. Report back to Lakekeeper Valania, who watches over the Sanctum. Lakekeeper? I think it's Lakekeeper. Deal with anyone suspicious, huh? But anyways, we got one of the most iconic spells right now for the mage. We did just unlock a little skill called Blink. And Blink literally does exactly that. It blinks you forward. Cooldown on it right now is going to be 15. But, this definitely will speed up the process quite a little bit. And obviously, if you can imagine, right? If we use Frost Nova in combination with Blink and whatnot, there's a crazy amount of control that we can do. Because, for example, if we'd go up against that Hunter once again, or, you know, any melee assassin, for example, we can just go ahead and freeze them in place, blink away real quick, and start raining our Frostfire bolts in order to deal with them. This is really cool. Anyways, Jeronis, what's going on? Have you succeeded in gathering the arcane cores? I most definitely did, yes. You've done well, Lowko. With our arcane sanctums not operating at full capacity, these power cores will go a long way in supplementing our needs. Alrighty, so I'll choose the orb or the rope there. I'm pleased to discover that you're at least somewhat competent. Well, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. I'll give you another task since you seem so eager to prove yourself. This is a letter to Lakekeeper Kaidanis, the Arcanist in charge of the upkeep on the North Sanctum. Go southwest of Valkenwing Square and you will find him. He's a very important person, so I hope you don't bother him too much with the trivial chatter. And with that, we're gonna be heading towards the next zone. Now, it looks like there's actually the midsummer holiday right now. As you may be aware, in World of Warcraft, you do get some, you know, all of the big events that happen in the normal world, quote-unquote normal world, will also actually happen in World of Warcraft. There's all kinds of events happening consistently, but I'm not gonna be worrying with that one for the moment. Look at that beautiful feral Dragonhawk there. Oh man, I can't wait for us to be able to get some mounts going. Obviously, since I've always played an Alliance character, right, I've never really been capable of using the Horde mounts either. And even though I got plenty of you know, rare ones. I got plenty of what do we have? We got like proto dragons and we got all kinds of really cool mounts. I'm probably just gonna be riding around on one of those Blood Elf chickens. At least for the first part of the game. Either way though, looks like we've managed to get all the way to Kaidanis, and this must be the midsummer music. Dang.
State your business.
Yes, mage. Well, I got a letter for you, sir. Thank you, Lowko. I've been expecting this letter.
The reckoning is
Since you're here, Lowko, I have a favor to ask you. Lakekeeper Valania's apprentice dropped by earlier to ask for assistance. Apparently there's some malfunctioning happening in the West Sanctum. I've been a bit busy entertaining our most pleasant dwarven guest. See if you can give her a hand. You'll find her in the West Sanctum, southwest of here.
farewell.
So this is going to be one of the dwarves. You've got my attention. Prospector Anvobort. What are you looking at, lad? Never seen a dwarf before then. That was my best dwarfish accent. Not sure if I'm ever gonna be doing that again. Although, if I would have to voice act anything in my life, it would probably be a dwarf. I mean, generally speaking, my dwarfish, out of all races, at the very least do reasonably well. That was, by the way, the first ever dwarf we've ever encountered on our journey. So, you know, we're not too worried about it. Either way, though, we're gonna be headed towards the other Lakekeeper, Valania, as well. And on top of that, we'll have to figure out what Darnassian intrusions are apparently there. And, well, coincidentally, that seems to be in the same corner of the world, which helps out a lot. I don't know. We still have that really sad music in the background, but it's so tranquil. Like, it's so, I don't know, relaxing, I suppose, right? This is one of those places where I would like to retire one day and play video games consistently. Basically the same thing as I'm doing right now. But seriously, man, this is so cool. Anyway, Lakekeeper Valania, what's going on?
Eternal sun guides us.
Could Night Elf saboteurs be behind it? I doubt it. With the load we've been putting on the West Sanctum, it was only a matter of time until something went wrong. So I've spent a little bit of time dealing with the quests at hand over there as well, and we did indeed kill one of the, you know, one of the Night Elves that was trying to be cheeky and you know, basically sneaky. And when we killed that Night Elf, we got the incriminating documents. The documents contain detailed maps of different strategic buildings in the Eversong woods. A diagram of an arcane sanctum is also sketched in good detail. There seem to be numerous notes in a language you do not recognize. As these were carried by a Darnassian spy, it might be a good idea to bring them to the captain of the guard, AddOns Sunbrand. Alrighty, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna be heading back towards the ruins of Silvermoon and see what these notes are going to be all about. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with World of Warcraft, on my way back, I came across this level 100 Blood Elf Paladin. Now look at that mount. He's got one of the coolest mounts from Mist of Pandaria. I don't actually personally have that one. But those are the kind of treasures we are looking forward to as well. But for the moment, we're gonna have to go by foot, which is unfortunate to say the least. But hey, at the very least, we're close to the captain once more. So I'm gonna be heading over towards him and see what he says about the Darnassian spy and the notes that we found about him. There he is, the captain of the Bloodhawks. Oh, that's actually the sergeant. I thought that was gonna be him, but no.
Our enemies will fall.
You've got something for me? Let's take a look. Are you sure you found these on a Night Elf? They're clearly written in Dwarven. From what I can understand from this letter, whoever wrote this did not cause the malfunction, but rather was sent here as a spy to observe the results. They call our endeavors reckless and dangerous, but who? Of course, that envoy from Ironforge. We were fools to trust anyone belonging to the Alliance. Oh man. Listen, Lowko, this is a very delicate situation. Even though we've identified the spy, we cannot kill him out in the open. We cannot try to capture him either, as the risk of him escaping is too great. I want you to go find Prospector Anvil Ward at the North Sanctum and kill him. Do this in a quiet manner. We do not want word to spread that we allowed a spy into our city. Bring me his head as proof. Ironforge will learn not to meddle with the Sindorai. Okay.
We'll have justice.
So remember that dwarf? Okay, no, sorry, I shouldn't do that. But do you remember that dwarf? That dwarf that, you know, basically was trying to, you know, he wasn't really trying to do too much to me, but he was just being an all-round jerk. Remember that guy? Well, apparently, he was the one trying to sabotage the Sanctum in Silvermoon. Now, we do have the counterspell unlocked, by the way. We did just get that. That's mostly a PvP spell, so I'm gonna be dragging that off of my action bar, as I really don't need that for the moment. But basically, if you use the counterspell, you can prevent your opponent. So let's say you're like dueling against someone, right? You can prevent that opponent from spawning anymore. But here we go. Prospector Anvil Ward, great to meet you.
What can I do for you?
What are you looking at, lad? Never seen a dwarf before? Well, I have, sir. I need a moment of your time. Ah, you must be the lad assigned to show me around the Eversong woods. Took your sweet time getting here, didn't you? Very well, off we go. Let us not waste one more minute. Okay, come with me, woman. Or not a woman, sorry. I gotta quietly kill him.
What's on your mind?
Come on, come on, come on.
Back.
Can we go? Do I have to talk to you again? Did I not do it properly?
Isn't ready yet.
Okay. Well, of course. I've got something to show you right inside of this building.
Safe travels.
Alright, here we go. So we had to kill him quietly. I am not very sorry, Mr. Anvil Ward. I do like your city of Ironforge, which is basically the dwarven capital. He's not even looking at me. He really wants to die right up here. This is a... Do you want to die up here, sir? This is a beautiful little spot. Look, we got like a mana crystal and all kinds of other beautiful things. What manner of trick is this, Blood Elf? If you seek to ambush me, I'll warn you, I will not go down quietly. Well, what if I just freeze you in place? Oh, he actually managed to break that already? Well, it's fine. Let's get his head, and let's get back to the captain. So we've made our way back towards the Vulcan Wing Square, and I am right in front of Aldon right now. Did you take care of the intruder? I most definitely did, yes. So the deed is done, excellent job. Word has been passing to the Ranger General, and believe me, the dwarves will pay dearly for that treason. You've been of great service to your people today, Lowko. Hey, no worries, dude. I've got another task for you. Ranger Digalion was sent to Fairbreeze Village to seek out more of the wretched attack on a nearby shipyard. He has requested reinforcements, which you cannot yet provide. Seek him out and grant him whatever aid you can. Fairbreeze Village can be reached by following the road out of the Vulcan Wind Square all the way towards the south. Good luck. Alrighty, so I did make my way towards a mailbox over here. Let's see what's going on. Oh snap, we got fan mail. One of you guys actually sent me gold. Hi Lowko, I'm a huge fan of your videos and I love your enthusiasm. I've learned some new tricks from from Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch. I'd like to give you something back. I've added some neat transmog stuff for your mage and of course some gold to fund your travels around Azeroth. Mr. Vernier. I mean, I will take your gift, sir. He actually added 5,000 gold to that email. Thank you very much, sir. And apparently we also managed to get something else from Cass Liana. Hey Lowko, it's amazing to see you playing WoW and I look forward to seeing you playing it. Good luck and thank you for the amazing videos. Here's a piece of trash to show you my happiness. That's funny, guys. I did actually not anticipate any of that. I thought you guys were NPCs. But hey, thank you very much for helping me, you know, increase this a little bit. So we got some cool transmo gear is what he said. Well, there we go. There we go. Speaking of which, looking around the square, I found the Dragonhawk master called Skiles, and
Victory lies ahead.
he actually allows me to fly around. Now, as you can see, there's several objectives I can already go towards. We can, however, head towards the Undercity, which is basically the main city of the undead, the Forsaken. However, for the moment, we're gonna be flying a Dragonhawk towards the Silvermoon City. And the Silver Hawk, obviously, or the Silver Moon City is going to be the capital for the Blood Elves. I have never actually really been here, I don't think, other than maybe one time before in the past, on any Horde characters. So I'm kind of excited for this, because I've never actually seen it. Well, that was a really short trip, actually. I was assuming that that was going to take me a little bit further. But that's going to be the way we are going to, you know, get around the area. But for the moment, I'm going to be talking, accepting quests, and then we'll head into the city. Oh man, there's a Worgen Mage over here. I mean, I don't really want to fight the Worgen Mage. Apparently he's fighting NPCs. What are you, what? Well then. This is a guy from the Alliance. He's slaying all kinds of dragon hogs. I'm not gonna attack him. Seems like something I should not be doing. But with that, I am going to be heading into the city. And this is going to be our first time on this character into the Silver Moon City. And we're gonna have a quick look around, because I have no idea really what the entrance even looks like anymore. So apparently we need to walk around, and yeah, we did just get into the Walk of Elders. And here we are. Dang, there we go. There we go, nice. Alrighty, so we have a couple of quests here to complete. Now, normally in all of the Alliance cities, I can tell you exactly what is gonna be where and what we should be expecting when and where I need to be going. Now, there's a couple of places I am going to be looking for, primarily the auction house and whatnot, but I'm gonna have to do a little bit of exploring before I'm gonna find these things. Now, the very first thing that we are going to purchase from the auction house, which I can now do because of the 5,000 gold that we just managed to get, is buy some bags, because I need bags in order to loot more stuff, and I need to use my, you know, my bags in order to obtain more and more things, just so I don't really run out of anything. We can also start our professions here. Now, as far as professions go, I haven't really settled on any yet, so if you have any recommendations of the, you know, of the professions that I should be running, please do let me know. There's the Royal Exchange, and there's also, hey, the Royal Exchange is actually leading towards where I came from. Alrighty, so I made my way towards the Royal Exchange. This seems to be a square where there's very little people here, first and foremost. But I think this is going to be a place where we can indeed go ahead and purchase some things. Now, I'm not entirely sure what those, oh, these are the auctioneers. There we go. Yeah, we did find the auction house. So for any of you unfamiliar with World of Warcraft, the auction house is basically a place where, you know, you can dump items on. So say I want to be selling the worn leather belt, I could go ahead and sell that. Now, obviously, no one is going to be purchasing that. But at the same rate, I can also go ahead and take a couple of containers. So containers are going to be bags. I always use add-ons for this. I haven't actually used this in a very long time. And as you can see, the top level bags do have 30 slots, but they're also extremely expensive, and there's no way I'm going to be able to, you know, purchase any of those for the moment. So I'm going to have to... There's even more expensive one? Who the heck buys that for 242,000? Anyway, for the moment though, I'm going to be finding some bags here that are reasonably priced, and it will allow me to, you know, get a little bit more bag space going. So I've decided to go ahead and settle on some Frostweave bags. They are pretty pricey, but I think for the cost that they have, it's gonna be worth it. And for the value that they have, they're gonna be, you know, they're gonna be worth it here in the end. So I'll go ahead and purchase 4 of those. And then make sure that we obviously grab them as well from one of the mailboxes. So in World of Warcraft, you receive pretty much everything by mail, or by mail rather. Although, I have to make sure that I can actually see the mailbox. I'm sure there's one here nearby. There we go. Yeah, there's gonna be one off there in the corner somewhere. You can make them, oh, there we go. You can make them show up on the minimap. But with that, things should become significantly easier. Now, we did spend roughly 1,000 gold on that, so that wasn't very cheap. But it should help me out a lot on my travel. Alrighty, so there we go. I've equipped all of the bags, and as you can see, we got a ton more bag space right now. That's gonna be great. So thanks to whoever sent me that gold just now. That does definitely help me out. Thank you. While on my way down south again, walking out of the city, this orc warrior has been following me around. I don't really know exactly who he is. I have no idea. He hasn't said a word to me. He's just here to follow me. I mean, why, sir? Why are you following me? What have I done to you? I'll just bug him out that fence. That will teach him. No, he's back. What? Why is he following me? I have no idea what to expect here. Alrighty. Well, I'll just continue questing. Gotta make sure I get to level 10. So I've been spending the last 20 or so minutes completing quests, exploring the zone, and making sure that I'm completing all of the objectives that are available. Now, the reason for that is that I want to be getting to level 10, and level 10 is a really important level in World of Warcraft because whatever class you play, you're gonna be choosing your specialization at that point in time. Now, the specialization isn't going to be permanent or whatever, but it is something you need to choose rather carefully. So let's say I'm gonna be choosing, for example, to become an arcane mage. I won't really be able to use any of the frost mage spells. Now, in my opinion, in my case right here, I am currently playing a mage, and I will be able to choose between arcane, fire, as well as frost. And I'm sort of leaning towards frost, at least for the moment, just because I think that's gonna help me out the most if I'm planning on doing a lot of, you know, solo leveling. Now, I've got one more group of quests over in this corner of the world as well, and I think this one will allow me to get towards level 10. Now, the nice thing about getting to level 10 is that you do get a really nice power spike. You do become all of a sudden significantly more powerful, at the very least when you're playing a mage. I do think so at the very least, because if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna immediately be unlocking a couple of new abilities that are unique to the specialization. So, you know, slowly but surely, we are obviously becoming more powerful anyway, but level 10 is definitely the point where you get a really nice power spike. So, we're nearly there already. So I'm currently doing a quest where I have to go ahead and collect several of the armaments apparently that these guys have been trying to hide. And, oh, there we go, we finally did just get the last one, which will allow me to go ahead and turn in the quest over here, and I think this will allow me to get towards level 10. At which point, by the way, besides choosing our specialization, we will also be able to head towards the next zone, as, you know, the Ghostlands is going to be the area where we want to, be at, from level 10 to level 20. So I did gather the lost weapons, yes, I most definitely did. Great job, Lowko, let's show the wretches what we are made of, alrighty. And there we did just obtain level 10. So before going onwards right here, and before talking to this guy any further, it is time for us to choose our specialization. So, like I said, we got Arcane, Fire, and Frost, and I am really leaning towards Frost. Now, there's one primary reason for that. Frost allows you to get the Summon Water Elemental spell, which is exactly what it sounds like. You basically get yourself a water elemental. On top of that, as you can see, there are also several other class-specific spells that or like specialization-specific skills that we will be getting over time. We could also decide to go for fire, which will right from the get-go unlock me Pyroblast here. And Pyroblast has a relatively long cast time, where it will also allow me to deal a heck of a lot of damage. And we could also be going with the Arcane. Manipulate the Arcane, destroying enemies with overwhelming power. Will unlock me the Arcane Blast as well, Arcane Charge. I think this is the specialization that we want to go with at least at some point later as well. I really like the idea of playing Arcane as well as Fire actually, but for the moment, we'll be specializing in a Frost. Freezes enemies in their tracks and shatter them with Frost magic. So here we go, we're going to be choosing that specialization. And right from the get-go, do we unlock this skill called Summon Water Elemental. And Summon Water Elemental basically gives me this little guy over here who I can remotely order people to freeze into place. Nice. Now, just real quick to showcase to you what this guy is capable of. As you can see, he's currently helping me attack, but more importantly, he's tanking all of the damage for me, which will speed up the leveling process quite a little bit because I can basically tag a whole lot of enemies, freeze them in place several times with the skill that he is allowing me to cast as well on top of my own. So we can basically shatter and freeze enemies in place for all of eternity, which is pretty awesome. But with that, I am going to be ending this episode right here. We're gonna be traveling towards the Ghostland next, and hopefully I'll be able to obtain level 20 relatively soon. Level 20 is gonna be the point where we will be able to start riding our mounts, and I'm really excited for that point as well. But for the moment, we're a Frost Mage, and we're progressing slowly but surely until level 100. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't already, do make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see the next episode, do make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I'll see you in the next one.